Dom here, the most metal cripple on YouTube. This is Dom's top 10 death metal songs of all time. Not the greatest death metal songs of all time. That would be a different list altogether. These are just my favorites. And aside from the first song that I'm going to show you, which is my number one, these are just kind of scatterbrained. They're not really in sequential order. I don't think there are any other disclaimers I need to make. I think we can just jump right in. I wish you could see my shirt. Should I back up and no, forget it. You'll have to just take my word for it. I'm wearing my death shirt. Although there are no death songs on this list. Wow, I just realized that. Well, it's tough. It's tough. How do you pick 10? There's like hundreds of death metal songs that I love. So, I did good just to pick these 10. And if I made the same list next week, it might be a different list. But let's jump in. I'm going to be using Metal Archives to give you some visuals here so you don't just look at my ugly mug the whole time. Well, let's be honest. I am incredibly handsome. You would love to just stare at me for 10 minutes. And you probably will anyway, knowing you. But let's get into it. Yeah, this is my number one, Festering in the Crypt. Um, yeah, yeah. The Wretched Spawns, my favorite Cannibal Corpse album. I love the production on this one. The guitar tone is just massive, and it's just so good. And George's vocals are. He enunciates so clearly. I mean, my mom can understand what he's saying on Festering in the Crypt. I mean, it's when your mom can understand what they're saying, that means he's really good at what he does. And that's not a prerequisite for death metal vocals. I don't need to understand what they're saying. I don't care what they're saying most of the time. But man, when they're this good, I mean, George is just dialed in on this whole album. The scream at the end is just classic. It's just so good. So this is my number one death metal song of all time. And like I said, the rest is just kind of scatterbrained. I think is the word I used. But let's go on to Morbid Angel. I'm going with Pain Divine. This isn't my favorite Morbid Angel album. Um, and I've done a ranking video for Morbid Angel, but if you don't know, my favorite is Domination. But Pain Divine, I don't know. It's at least my favorite song on Covenant. It almost has a black metal feel because it's the tremolo guitars. Um, I I feel like most people who talk about tremolo runs don't actually know anything about guitars. Don't know what a tremolo is. I don't even know what a tremolo is. I'm just using the word because I'm pretty sure it's the right word to use here. But Pain Divine is fantastic. It's really melodic. It's one of the more melodic songs on Covenant, and it's intense, man. That's a word I'm going to be using quite a bit on this list. Intense. And then we move from there to Suffocation. My favorite Suffocation album is Pierced from Within. I love the whole thing, but my favorite song is probably Thrones of Blood. That's the song I'm going with here. Um, Massive. Man, this was a formative death metal album for me. So when I was hearing this for the first time, dude, I didn't realize music could be this heavy. I mean, this flattened my brain. The riffs are just absolutely crushing. The vocals are sick, obviously. Frank sounds fantastic. This is just a great. Well, it's a great album overall. Um, but yeah, Thrones of Blood, absolutely, absolutely has to be in my top 10 somewhere. And so does Daylight Dies, A Dream Resigned. This is melodic death doom, and I debated whether or not to include melodic death doom on this list, but the key word there is death, so it does count. And I absolutely love this song. This is one of my favorite songs of all time. Forget genre. This is just one of my favorite songs. I first heard it on Music Choice like 15, 20 years ago. Music Choice is, it's kind of like a, how would you describe what it is? Kind of like a radio station, but it's on your TV. Here in the South, we have Spectrum cable, and Music Choice channels are like in the 900s. They have since removed the metal channel, but back when they had the metal channel, and it played metal sometimes. Back when they would kind of play metal on the metal channel, they played this, and it just blew me away. Man, the guitar solo. The first time I heard the guitar solo, I was hooked. I knew I had to get into this band, and this is one of my favorite albums of all time. But yeah, Dream Resigned, Daylight Dies, absolutely incredible stuff. And then we have Christ's Cage, the last track on Here and After by Immolation. Um, Intense, there's that word again. Man, the drumming is so intense. But on this song especially, and I love the lead guitar, the way it opens with that whine. I guess you would call it a whine. It's just, man, it's so epic. Fantastic cut here, and this is an excellent album. I mean, intensity is a word that you could use for just about any Immolation record, but this one sounds particularly oppressive. And Christ Cage is my favorite on this particular album. Not my favorite Immolation album, but look, we don't have time to go through every band, and maybe one day I'll do an Immolation ranking video, but we don't have time for all of that. Let's move on, man. Exhumed. I tend to prefer a band's middle era discography chunk. I don't know why that is, but this is my favorite Exhumed album. Um, I'm not really big on their early grindy stuff because I'm not into grindcore at all. But I love this album, and the song I'm going with is track 4, Under the Knife. Um, it's got a beautiful melodic guitar solo on it, and that combined with the groove of the riffs and just the sheer aggression of the song, it's a winning combination. And this whole album is full of stuff like that. But yeah, Under the Knife definitely, it's got to be somewhere in my top 10. If I were to make a top 10 YouTube video, then yeah, this is absolutely awesome stuff. Um, Sorry for the beeps. I forgot about the beeps. God, I need to do something about the beeps on my keyboard. Alright, Hooded Menace. Charnel Reflections, the 5th song on Ossuarium Silhouette's Unhallowed, which is my favorite Hooded Menace album, barely. I mean, the more I listen to Fulfill the Curse, I don't know. That one is starting to climb the list. But I'm a big Hooded Menace fan. And yeah, Charnel Reflections is just crazy heavy. And this the whole album, it just combines that kind of tombstone heaviness with the gorgeous guitars, the twin harmonies. Oh man, it's so good. I'm hearing it in my head now, and Man, I could just sit here and listen to that in my head, but I guess I'll keep talking. But yeah, this is great. Great stuff all around. And let's see, I'm going to try to avoid the beeping on my keyboard. Bloodbath, Ways to the Grave is the song. It's the opener on Resurrection Through Carnage, which this album was kind of meant to be an homage to Swedish death metal, but it is, in and of itself, at this point, a Swedish death metal classic. I mean, there are bands now that would probably try to write, songs that sound like Bloodbath. The guitar tone is insane, and this is the one song on the album that has a little blast beat section. That's oddly the one thing that isn't on this record are blast beats, except for this song. Dan Swano was the drummer here, but it's just fantastic. The vocals are unreal. I mean, Michael Ackerfeld just sounds incredible on this album. So yeah, definitely Ways to the Grave by Bloodbath. Behemoth, I'm going with Slaves Shall Serve. I could have gone with Sculpting the Throne of Seth, but we'll go with Slaves Shall Serve off of Demigod, which is my favorite Behemoth album. It was my first Behemoth album. It's just, 3 minutes of fast, evil, insane metal. And the vocals are just. I don't care how many layers of vocals there are. I don't care if it doesn't sound exactly the same live. They sound awesome. So, love that. And if you're watching the video, you can already see what my number one is. Yeah, I'm cheating a little bit here. I don't care. Crimson, Edge of Sanity. I called this my number one. It's not my number one. Festering in the Crypt was my number one. But this is the last one that I'm showing you. Crimson, Edge of Sanity. It's 40 minutes of progressive death metal perfection. I might prefer Crimson 2. I kind of do prefer Crimson 2, but I feel like if I'm going to put one of those records on this list, it's going to have to be Crimson. Plus, technically, Crimson 2 isn't one song, so, yeah. But yeah, Crimson. Absolutely fantastic. Beep. There's another one. Okay, so yeah. That's it. I think I'm done. I think I've listed my top death metal songs of all time. But yeah, they weren't in any order. I mean, in the Cannibal, I could have picked 5 Cannibal Corpse songs. I could have picked 10 Cannibal Corpse songs. I should just do that. I should just make top 10 Cannibal Corpse songs. Maybe that's a video to do in the future. But yeah, there you go. Don't like or subscribe. And yeah, that's about it. Leave me alone for a little bit, okay?